We're going to have a look back at our top Kiwi draft picks. We all got to pick 3 unique players each. So obviously easy for those who got to go first and second, and those in last, a bit of a tougher job. But let's look back at 2021. So I got to go first last year, and I picked Richie Mo'unga, Will Jordan, and Zahn Sullivan. How did they fare?
Richie, top it, mate. Wow. Yeah. That was a pick out of the blue. Don't know how you got that one. Will Jordan, 5th. I thought that was pretty good, actually. I don't think he scored that highly as much as we all expected it. And Zahn Sullivan, that was just the classic Cargie, like, shoot for the sky, land in the dirt. He had a 22-point average, and he didn't rank. I don't know what he came. I couldn't count that low.
But did he start starting every game? Yes, he did. So let's pick him again this year. But no, all right. Moving on, we had Nels picked David Havili, Cody Taylor, picked the Crusaders theme as well. Very good. And someone that you frothed a lot on. I didn't see him find his way particularly into these rankings, but Lachlan Boshier. So,
yeah, look, Havili was just, he was a bit further down on this list, actually, and you think he's quite a good player, but Lachlan Boshier was a fair bit higher than him, just missing out on that first page. But the main name there for me is Cody Taylor. He was 3rd on the overall score, which, that's just genius by me, isn't it?
What are you talking about, mate? We're talking about New Zealand rankings here. He's 2nd. So, Lachlan Boshier was 9th. I don't know where you're getting your information.
Mate, you haven't put this in the spreadsheet. What are we working on?
Oh, yeah, when you're off the screen, yeah.
when Nelson's first words in a reply are, insert long excuse here, basically. But he'd actually done well. You can't go wrong with Cody Taylor, really.
That's right.
But Harry, why don't you take us through who you picked? So you got unlucky, 3rd of us, to pick 3 unique players. Who did you pick?
Yeah, after 6 Kiwi players are gone, there's basically no good fantasy players left. So I got stuck with Nani Laumape, who came 7th. Salisi Rayasi, who came 6th. I thought that was a pretty good pick out of I think he was one of our smokies that we thought was going to have a big year. And Damien McKenzie, shock horror, was 4th. He was right up there as well. So really scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I will just go through the actual rankings as well. You had Richie Mo'unga top it with 56 points, Cody Taylor on 50. Hoskins Satutu was not named, 48 points. That was surely there for you, Craigs. D-Mac 45, Jordan 45, Rayasi 45, Laumape, Geordie Barrett, both 45-point averages as well. Then you had Jacobson on 44 and Eklund on 42. So very, very high scores across the board for the top 10. And really it was only Zahn Sullivan and Dave DeVilliers that flopped out of our 9 picks, guys.
That's true. And who would have picked both of them in the same league to flop? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Upon reflection, that's interesting. What I've taken out of that is that Laumape still got such a great score. Because remember, it felt like such a quiet year for him last year in that we watched every game and they just didn't pass him the ball. That they decided now he was a decoy for the entire season, which was very frustrating, but still crushed it in terms of fantasy. So huge.
Don't forget at the back end of the season, he got to verse lots of Aussie sides, and that definitely bumped his numbers back up.
That's right.
That's true. I was thinking the first half of the season. Yeah, they probably started to give him the ball again as soon as he was versing the Australian sides. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, let's move on to predictions for 2022. So we flipped the script. Harry got to go first. So just before he answers, take a guess. Who you think Harry's picked as his top 3 players to score in the New Zealand Conference this year? I'll give you a hint. They're all from the same team. He's wearing the jersey. Harry, who did you pick, mate?
Mate, more of the same from Richie Mo'unga. He might not play as many games, but his average will be high enough with enough games that he'll be number 1. Cody Taylor, number 2. Andrew Makaleo is gone from the Crusaders, so they've just taken another layer off of minutes taken away from Cody Taylor, so he'll be right up there. And I think Will Jordan will go better. He only came 5th last year. I reckon he's a top 3 player this year. He's unbelievable and just keeps getting better. I didn't think it was possible.
Can score tries.
That's pretty fair. Look, for me, I've gone, I'd say probably not out on a limb, but he hasn't been in the, maybe as high up as we thought he could have, because he was sharing a bit of time. That's Samasoni Takiaho, who he had to share a bit of time with Nathan Harris. No longer does he have to do that. So I think he's going to be massive moving forward. Salesi Rayasi, we already touched on him, and I think he's going to be better again this year. And David Havili, hopefully a little bit less disrupted. He's been playing in the centres. If they're going to keep him in the same jersey, he's had another year there. I think he could be dominant yet again.
He's learned nothing. He doesn't score it inside centre, mate. That's the rule. Everyone knows that.
Because he was chopping around. Now he'll be good.
Look, he finally got his time in the All Blacks, but Harry has touched on a good point, mate. You want him in that 15 jersey, and we're never seeing him in that 15. Unless Will Jordan dies, we're not seeing him in that 15 jersey again. So,
and then Shafiaki will be in, mate. He's a 12 all year.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, and that left me with obviously the scraps, as we said. There's no more good, fantasy players in this whole Kiwi conference after that. But I decided to just pick, unsurprisingly, another two Crusaders players. I went for Lester Fainga Anuku. Went for Sevu Reece. Might have heard of him, the guy who had kind of 100-point fantasy average for a good couple of rounds when he first started. And then still not feeling that positive about my third choice, but it's locked in. It's recorded for all history, so I have to go with it. TJ Perinara is who I picked. So TJ's come back after a season off playing in Japan, and I've picked him because he doesn't have Bodie doesn't have that fly half pairing. So as we've seen towards the end when Bodie wasn't there, they even started playing TJ at 10. So basically, I think TJ is going to almost captain the team and play 9 and 10 and just do everything himself. So I'm expecting more fantasy points and hoping that he's going to start reaching up to that Tate McDermott type level, even in a Kiwi conference. So,
and I would say, mate, the big thing there is you've taken him to do that for the Hurricanes above Geordie Barrett.
I did, yeah. I don't know. You put a lot of pressure on me. You gave me no time. Could have picked Satutu, could have picked Akira, could have picked. There's so many players.
I had so much time, mate. You had too much time.
Yeah, all right, mate. Sure. Let's